here at the Northeast
Northeast Dirt Modified Hall of Fame.
There you go. I had to make sure that I didn't say that. So Rich Applebee is the guy who you are hearing right now. How are we doing today, Rich?
Doing good, Doug, and you?
Good, good. I hope you caught the one about the dinner that's coming up on January 6th. It's a Saturday, 3 o'clock. Things are going to open up. Let me see. Billy Decker, Tim Fuller, Kenny Tremont, and Gary Tompkins. Yes. I got it. Yes. And Joe Murata will be the MC. You can get tickets by either going to talk to these guys or, just leave me a message on this video too, or on the Facebook page. What are we looking at here, sir?
It's a pink car that's been pretty around the tracks for years. Yep.
And of course, you know the guy, obviously, if you're a race fan, from really until, how long did he race? Early 2000s, I think, right? That we saw Chuck Akulis still at the track. So, right. And of course, the Pink Panther was always on the car somewhere. All of his cars were pink. Did we ever find out why all the cars were pink, Rich?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'm going to try to get a hold of him. Maybe I can find out. Exactly. But you said this is a relatively new addition to the hall, right?
Exactly, yep. So they come up and they've been running it, I guess, a little bit in the vintage car classes and stuff like that, and they decided they'd like to put it in the museum for a while. So it's got a big block in it, which is odd for some of the vintage car classes too.
I always loved the white headers. Did everybody do the white headers back then?
It was a paint they used that stayed on the headers instead of get burnt off.
Really?
Yes.
So that's what. So it's a special kind of paint that they used.
Yep, it was a heat paint type.
Okay.
Thing. Yep.
And as you can see, like a lot of the modifieds did up until recently, there's the shaker in the front. And explain to the folks who might not know why that's there.
It would shake the mud off instead of getting into the radiator.
Mm-hmm. And you'd move it a little loose, right? So it would actually move up and down. Because anytime you get clay in the radiator, obviously, as we learned from seeing the Cup cars down there at Bristol, it can be a major problem. There's what we told you about on the hood. There is the Pink Panther. And I'm going to try to get a hold of Chuck. I'm going to try to see if I can get a hold of him. And then if you guys could help, go right ahead, because I'd like to talk to him about this car. We're going to go all the way around it first. And then we're going to look in the cockpit. Of course, the big thing you'll notice right here, boy, that right rear tire looks pretty darn big.
M&H Race Masters.
And that was called drag rubber, right?
Drag rubber, yes.
Why did they call it that?
It would actually grow when you stepped on the gas.
Okay.
Straight away. So.
Did the sipes come on there, or did they do that themselves?
They did most of that themselves.
Okay.
That would actually be a softer tire than a dirt tire would.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember when I was on the Outlaw circuit in the early 290s, they had, I think they called them McMods or something like that, or they were McCreary's, weren't they?
Right, yep. This is a Race Master, though. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There you see it right there on the side of the tire. We'll go around the back, and obviously, you can stay on this side this time because you'll be able to see what I'm looking for. One of the more popular bodies, and probably better as a stock car than on the street, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot prettier, I think.
Yeah, the Pinto had a reputation at the time. They would catch on fire.
They would be hitting the rear, and the gas tank would blow up on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was no protection back there.
And it looks like they shortened it up a little bit, didn't they? I know that was a lot of times they would cut some out of the middle just to shorten it up a little, right?
They narrowed this up and shortened it up, too.
Okay. We'll look underneath the back there so you can see what's going on in there. I'm surprised that I guess that those look like shocks like we could have seen almost on any car at the time.
Right. They're probably mostly Carreras back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
There would be adjustable shock. They had 3 settings on them usually.
Mm-hmm. And of course you see the leaf springs, which some pro stocks still run that today, but a lot of them have switched over to the coil. Was a leaf spring the standard suspension at that time?
Basically, yes, that's what all they were allowed to run. Then they started playing with torsion bars afterwards.
Oh, okay. And when would this car have raced, if you had to take a guess?
I'd probably say early 70s through, late 70s.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful car, by the way. Love this thing. We'll take you in the cockpit here in just a second here, but the fuel cell under here, so you just pull this up basically and then put the fuel. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. So just take that off, and nice to have a little cover on there too. So, okay. Yeah. And I'm sure that rattled when they were out there on the racetrack,
I've
right?
never heard it.
That's true with a big block with no mufflers on there. It's going to do that. So, all right, so as we look in here, I'll zoom in on the gauges so you guys can see. Minimal at best, and I still remember a lot of my friends who aren't into racing are like, there's no speedometer, but you get the tachometer, oil pressure, and of course the water temperature. I'll go around the other side too. Here you can see the master cylinder is right there. There you see the master cylinder. Actually, this is some pretty good cage work for the time, isn't it, Rich?
Really, really good cage work, yep. Look at the transmission. It was a Chevy transmission, and they put a Honda clutch inside of it. That
Seriously?
On the side, they would take second gear out and put a Honda clutch inside that transmission. and use that pedal. They use first gear to get going, and then just put it in third. It was direct drive after that.
Oh, really? Right to third. Okay. See, the battery is down there. Okay. There's the, I'll turn it the other way so you can actually see there's the ignition switch right there. So up or down, I would imagine it would probably be in the off position right now. So, but very simple, very basic, everything right there. And that's the hand clutch right there, or is that the hand brake?
Usually that's a clutch.
That is the clutch. Okay. So just like the cars today, although it's, let me think. Yeah, that's right. It would be on the other side on today's cars. So, but this is a very unique car right here, guys. It is one of the new additions to the museum here. So make sure to come on out here. If you get off exit 40 in Weedsport, it's really, you know, it's probably about a par 5 away from the racetrack if you hit a good drive. So it's not that far away. It's right up in front, right across from Rainbow Lanes. But this is one of the more unique cars that is in this place. And of course, one of the more popular drivers in our area, Chuck Akulis, with his famous number 3. So you got to get out here. And again, not just for the show, like we said, on January 6th, but is it open all the time, or is it pretty much reserved? You know, you have to call and make a reservation at this stage of the game to see it.
This time of year, we just, you know, has reservations and stuff like that. You know, we're not open all the time. We have volunteers that go to Florida through the winter and stuff like that. So,
Gotcha.
you know, we're minimal on help. So if you want to volunteer, come out and help us out.
And again, we're just teasing you with this one. You're catching some of the other cars in the background, obviously, and we're not going to show you those up close because we want you to come out and see this. But this place is wonderful. If you're a fan of racing, you know, like Rich, you know, since for really 50 years or more, really when you get down to it, right? Yeah. Rich for you. Or me, I got into this late. This was my 34th season just now. Or maybe you're new and you want to know what the stuff looked like in the past. This is a nice representation. You've got everything from the old Sportsman, the old Modifieds, newer stock cars, a lot of the newer stuff from the past few years, and another 8-ball car in here. We use the one with Rich, but there's another one in here that I know you Oswego Speedway fans are going to like. Big thanks, of course, to our friends at Rudy Plumbing. Make sure to look them up. They're Moyer's Corners out there in Baldwinsville and Liverpool. They service pretty much whatever you need, whether it's you need somebody to get in and clean out your sewer, whether you get that 2 o'clock in the morning, because the water heaters never go at 2 in the afternoon. They always tend to go at night when you wake up in the morning and realize you have a problem, or something basic. Make sure to look up Earl and the guys. Rich, I appreciate you came out here just for me tonight. Thank you very much, man, and I look forward to getting back out here soon.
Thanks, Doug.
Open house March 30th, too. Don't forget about that.
Thank you.